I am Kevin Marcus Sylvester, better known as Kev Marcus, and this is Will B. We call him Simply Sick, and we are Black Violin, and we're very happy to be here. I started playing the violin in the 5th grade. I was 9 years old, and my mother made me do it. Yes, she did. But it ended up working out. You know, I actually went to the class. It was a Saturday program, and I went, and I wanted to play something cool, and I get the violin. Wasn't happy about it, but it ended up working out. Will, he started playing the viola in the 8th grade, and we met in high school as stand partners in orchestra class. And we're from, right here in South Florida. And we were stand partners in orchestra class. I was first chair, he was second. He denies it, but it's true. And every day in second period, we had a teacher named James Miles who really just molded us and taught us that if we kept working at this, we can do something really special with it. So every day, second period, we're playing Bach and Beethoven and Mozart. And on the way to third period, we have our Walkman on, and we're listening to Biggie and, Mary J. Blige or whatever was hot at the time, Fugees. And Will has influences in R&B as well. You listen to Brian McKnight and Curtis Mayfield and all that kind of stuff. And, for us, it was just kind of we were in this interesting melting pot, and we had no idea what was going to become of it, just being training as classical musicians every day, second period, and then, but being products of 90s hip-hop and being able to kind of put them together. But we didn't really even notice it in high school, We just kind of worked hard, kept practicing, and it just kept opening doors. So Will got a full scholarship to Florida State University, and thank you. And I got a full scholarship here at FIU. Yeah. And it's a funny thing. The first day I came to class here, I studied with Chauncey Patterson, part of the Miami String Quartet. And just behind this wall, his studio is. And I'm ready to play. I'm so ready. I'm sitting down. I got my instrument ready. It's first day of college. I'm excited. And he tells me, put my instrument away. And I'm like, well, why? I'm ready to play for you. He says, put your instrument away. Here's a tape. I want you to go home and listen to this tape and come see me next week. So I thought it was odd, but I took the tape home and I listened to it, and I just hear this violin. It sounded like it was on fire, like this guy's playing with so much soul. And I never heard a violin played that way before. And I did some research on it. The violinist, his name was Stuff Smith, and he was studying at the University of North Carolina in the 30s, and he's a black guy. So I thought that was just kind of crazy that there's a black guy studying violin in the 30s. But this album was transcended. It changed everything for us. And who would ever thought that the album was actually named Black Violin, and that's where we got our name from. So that happened right here at FIU at that. So after college, we got back together, and we started just trying to, figure out what's next. We have these degrees, it's great, but, after 9/11, things got a little tough for the classical world. It was really difficult to try to figure out, what are we going to do? Are we going to play in an orchestra or what? So we got together and we started making beats. That's what we call it. We started making beats. I actually learned how to start making beats on the 5th floor of the library. I had a job there, and there was a lab there, and that's how I started learning how to make beats. But we got together, we got a place together, and just started making beats. And we're like, we're going to produce all the hot hip-hop in Miami. And we had artists like Rick Ross and Pitbull, who are, mega famous now, but they would come to our studio before they had any hits and say, hey, what you got, And we'll be like, okay, let's see, we'll play you this beat, we play you that beat. And we played them a few beats, and they're like, yeah, I like that. And then we would go in the other room systematically. It would be like, this is how we do it. We'd go in the other room and grab the violins and start playing on the beats. And they'd be like, I want that. Whatever it is, I want the violins. And I want the mixture of it. So we thought maybe we should really kind of start focusing on putting the violins together with hip-hop. That was the whole thing where everyone seemed to be drawn to it. For us, I've been playing violin 12, 13 years at that point. It was nothing new, but people seemed to be drawn to it. So for us, we were like, all right, well, maybe we should do it. So the next logical step is to go over to Collins and Ocean and try to play in a dance club. So you can imagine we walk up to promoters and we're like, hey, so we got these 2 black guys that want to play violin in your dance club. And and they gave us some hesitation, some resistance, as you can imagine. I mean, this is probably 2003 at the time. Nothing like this had ever been done or thought of. And we're in the and we just were trying to knock on doors, but no one would give us an opportunity. So my manager, Sam G, at the time, he comes up with a brilliant idea. He says, all right, well, we're going to make them listen. And I remember we were on like Washington and 9th, and we pulled up his expedition right in front of a club that we wanted to play that night because we knew it was going to be a lot of big people there. And we just we opened the trunk, put on the radio, and we just started jamming to it right there on the sidewalk. And the promoter came out and was like, wow, okay, I want that in my club. And then we came in the club that night, and we rocked it. It was all kind of great people there. And then we started kind of being this, I guess, this hip-hop violin duo that would play clubs on South Beach. And that was amazing. We just thought that we were doing something so special, something that's so different, but no one really knew what to do with it. If you try to explain it to someone, they have no idea what you're talking about. This is before YouTube, so it's just kind of a hard sell. So we thought we have to become national. We have to find a way to make this a national brand. And we sent a tape off to Showtime at the Apollo. If you guys aren't familiar with it, it's the longest running talent competition in the world. Michael Jackson was in that competition. James Brown has done that competition. And Black Violin entered that competition. We sent a tape to Showtime at Apollo. It went to a P.O. box that no one ever checks. But, somehow they checked it 2 years after we sent the tape. 2 years, and they called us in 2004, and we didn't even know if it was real. We're like, okay. It was like, come to New York, and you're going to compete on Showtime at the Apollo. So we go to the Apollo. We're really, really excited. We're ready to go, and we get there, and if you're unfamiliar with Showtime at the Apollo, if they don't like you, they boo you off the stage, and they have a good time booing you. So we're downstairs in the green room for a while, and all we can hear is the first 4 acts that go on gets booed off the stage. We look down at these violins in our hand, and we're like, what are we doing here, So we go on the show, and we end up never losing, and we are 2005 Showtime at the Apollo Legends. So that's pretty much how we got our start. We won $20,000. We didn't even know they gave out prizes for that, but we were excited. So we started a website and printed some business cards, and we were really ready to start rolling. We were in New York for a week that time, and we ended up getting an old contact for Alicia Keys' manager. So we went to her office the next day. No one knew we won the show yet because, it hadn't aired yet. But, we were like, hey, we just won Showtime at the Apollo. We'd love to, meet with him. And we ended up meeting with Alicia's manager, and we played for him right there. He didn't seem very interested, but we played for Alicia Keys' manager. We were excited about it. We go back home. 2 weeks later, he calls us, and we're on live television with Alicia Keys playing at the Billboard Awards, and it's completely live. The Apollo hasn't even aired yet we're standing next to Alicia Keys, and she was such a gracious, humble person to start your career with, in a way. She was really a strong influence on us, and how to be a professional and how to really do music well. So we worked with her, and then it kind of started snowballing. Her music director passed us to Linkin Park, and we went on tour with Fort Minor, which is a Linkin Park side project. We went on tour with them for many, many years, and got to see the world, and we played with Diddy and all these different artists, and we were basically their string section. Now that's cool for most people, but for us, we wanted to do something a little bit more impactful. We felt that, when we went on Apollo, we went and the violins was the front, and we want to be the front, So we just kept honing our craft, playing as many shows as we can, and just taking any opportunity to try to take it to the next level. So, we kept working on it, and we recorded our first album in 2007. And just kept pushing it and pushing the envelope, and it ended up getting us to tour all over the world. We had opened for Kanye West in Dubai. We got to open for Akon in Africa, and Jay-Z in Switzerland, and really cool stuff. And really just kept, pushing the envelope all around the world and doing something really that no one had ever thought about. And that to us was always the best thing about it, is that no one had ever attempted to do this, and we were doing something that we were pioneering something, and we always loved that aspect of it. And, by doing that, it just kept opening more and more doors, and we just kept doing more cool things. And, lately, our career has taken us to Broadway. We've had headlined our own show on Broadway. Many times we got to open for the U.S. Open. We played on center court at Ash Stadium to open the U.S. Open a couple of years ago. And the true highlight of our career was past January, we got invited to play at the inauguration ball. And that was really something. So when we played the inauguration, I remember this like it was yesterday, and I don't think I'll ever forget it really, because what show could be bigger than the inauguration, I guess? But so we had the inauguration, and all day I remember thinking, okay, well, what am I going to say when I meet the president? What am I going to say? Because this is the day he got sworn in, everyone's watching, I'm going to get to shake his hand, what am I going to say? So I finally walk up to him and I say, everything that I've ever done in my life has led up to this moment. And then he looks at me, and I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, I have a good statement, right? He looks at me, he says, well, the tough thing is to figure out what to do next. I was like, man, he messed up my whole moment. It was so profound, I didn't even know what to do with it. And we found that like the months after it, that was really the problem, or I guess what's next? Do you play the Super Bowl? We've played 3 Super Bowls. I don't even know what to do after that comment, But it was such a strong comment, and that I felt like, we have to just keep pushing with that statement and trying to figure out what's next. What do we do next? And when we perform for 50,000 kids across North America every single year. And every time we perform for them, they always love the violin, and it's a fun show. They dance the whole time. But at the end of our shows, we always say, have you ever seen a violin show like this before? And they always scream, no. And we say, the point of Black Violin isn't about the violins. The violins are cool. They've provided us full scholarships to college. But the true point of what we do is to get everyone in here and everyone watching at home to think outside the box. The violin's been around for, hundreds of years, yet we are still finding new ways to do something different with it. We are different people playing violins. You probably even seen, I left half of my violin at home, We do different things. The whole point is to do it differently than anyone has ever done it. So when we step off the stage, sure, we hope that you're entertained and educated and inspired, but ultimately, we hope that you are thinking outside the box and you see that we're able to take something that's been here hundreds of years and that's, kind of is thought of traditionally, and we're able to make it something that's contemporary and modern and kind of bridge the gap. So, that's really what the point of Black Violin is. Sure, it's something different, great music, but, if we can get everyone in here to think outside the box, no matter if you are, studying to be a doctor, a lawyer, a scientist, if you want to be the next LeBron James, whatever, just make sure that you are always taking it to the next level and doing something that is completely different than what people expect. And always, make sure that you're always outworking everybody so that you guys can be your own virtuoso.
Virtuoso. There are a lot of virtues. One who excels in the technique of an art is special, a highly skilled musical performer.
How y'all feeling? You guys feeling all right? I need everybody to stand up on your feet. This is the last event. This is hip-hop, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands up like this. Hey, put your hands up. In the top we see you. I'm virtuoso. Hey, hands up, come on. Hey, I'm virtuoso. Hey, and don't you forget it. Let's go. So, yeah, Marcus, talk to him. you. We're all virtuosos. Hey, I'm virtuoso. So everybody,